Welcome to QBasic programming tutorial. We'll be using QBasic 1.1 for this tutorial. Lesson 1. Understanding the UI and Hello World. QBasic UI uses the text mode in MS-DOS. In this lesson, we'll be learning how to open the QBasic UI, how to customize the background and foreground colors, how to execute commands on the UI, how to write and run a program from the UI, how to save and load a program from the UI, how to use the print function, and learn how to use two different print function syntaxes. Once DOS has booted up, you shall be greeted with your DOS prompt. My DOS prompt is customized as I show on the MS-DOS Virtual Machine series, but for more information about MS-DOS, you can check out that series. So what you'll need to do is type in QBasic, and you also might not have your mouse driver installed. But that's not a problem, because you can code perfectly well without your mouse driver, because MS-DOS was designed without the mouse necessarily in mind, or to put it better, MS-DOS was designed so that you could use your keyboard to do anything. So for the sake of this lesson, I will not be using my mouse at all. So the first thing that you'll notice is that you have a big text input, which is here, this untitled screen here, and this text input is where you'll be writing your code. But let's not do that first. First of all, let's draw our attention to this little window beneath it, named Immediate. Now, to get there, you just press F6, as it says on the bottom of the screen, on that bar there. F6 switches the windows. So if you go to Immediate, this is where you can type immediate commands. So as you probably noticed, in this lesson we're going to be learning how to use the print command. So here we can do print test, and then if you press enter, it just executes test. So immediate is how you can run commands immediately, as the name suggests. So yes, that's how immediate works. You can execute two commands simultaneously. Enter, and it runs both commands, which is nice. But for most of the time, you're going to be just using the untitled window, which is actually the name of your program, but since you don't have a name, it's just going to be called untitled. You're going to be using this window. Next, in the UI, you will notice that on the top you have these little what do you call these? These little context menu strips. To access them, you just press the Alt key, and then you can use the arrow keys to move around. You can press the corresponding key that's highlighted to be able to open them, or you can just use the drop down. You can use the arrow keys to cycle through the context menus, or you can just use the up and down arrows to select the items in the context menus, or you can also just use the corresponding key combination. So for example, we can customize our screen if you go to display, and let's say we want, for example, let's say green on black. There you have it. So that's how you customize your UI. Now, let's get on with writing the print Hello World program that all first-time programmers starts with. To do this, all you have to do is do print Hello World. Then if you press F5, it prints Hello World. But let's say you want to have Hello World twice. Well, you can just do print Hello World again, and now you have two Hello Worlds. Well, three on your DOS prompts, because you've already typed Hello World once. But let's say you want them on the same line. Well, you could do it like this, by typing print Hello World, Hello World. But there's an easier way to do this. Well, not exactly easier, but a more useful way of doing this if you want to do, for example, a for loop. But because we're not doing a for loop yet, we can put Hello World on the same line twice, just by typing a semicolon and then doing print Hello World on the second line, and there you go. You can probably add a space at the end, and there you go. You can format that. You can add a semicolon here, if you're going to type another text here, and there you have it. Of course, you have to notice that if you type a semicolon on the last a print function without any print function after it, the next time you run the program, it will just continue from that new line, because it's not going to append a new line every time you run the program. Now, to save your program, you press Alt F S and type in the name of the file. For example, here we have lesson1.bas. Okay, I believe that you don't have to insert the .bas file extension. I think it does it automatically, but that's what I like to do. Now, to exit the program, you press Alt F and X. Now, if you do a directory listing, you can see that your less1.bs program is here. You can type it out, and then you can use QBasic to open it again. If you make any changes to your program, like removing the last print function, for example, if you go to exit your program, it will tell you that the loaded file is not saved, and you can choose whether or not you want to save it by using the arrow keys, the tab button, and selecting the option. And now the file is saved. So that's that's a good way to make sure that you always save your program. And that concludes lesson 1 of QBasic programming.